What do you think is the number one thing that prevented residency candidates from getting interviews or getting ranked this cycle based on your experiences?
Well, there was certainly a little bit of extra trickiness this cycle, only partially because we are just post the huge COVID rise from last year, but more because the NRMP implemented the signaling, the ERAS signaling was implemented, and along with geographic preferences and the expanded section on your history. And nobody was really sure exactly how they were going to use it and how much of a difference it would make. And in what way. Every program did it a little bit differently. Some participated, some didn't. I think all of that made it a little bit harder for the applicants to know exactly how to tailor their application to, in general, the pool and to the places that they wanted to go.
And so, how did the supplemental ERAS application play out for your program? Was that something that you looked at? Was it something you participated in?
Yeah, we were participating. I think the overwhelming majority of the programs selected they were going to participate, although just having said that didn't mean you actually had to use it. Some places checked off they would participate and then really didn't even use it at all. I started out looking through it. It was actually housed in a whole separate data analytics website, which made it much more awkward to look at that website and go back and forth to the ERAS website. And so it was hard to use right from the get-go. From what I understand, in future years, they're going to integrate it so that it won't be a problem for program directors and their selection committees. But because of that, some of us, including myself, took the one part that was the easiest to capture within it, which was that signal, the all-important signal, and put a little note in the regular ERAS where every single person was that had signals. So we can kind of use that information integrated into the regular ERAS software. Everything else I found over the first few days of trying to look through geographic signaling, the extra history stuff from the resume, found it very hard to use, found it somewhat redundant and not particularly necessary. This is just one person's opinion, one program's opinion. And I wound up almost completely only using the signaling.
That's very interesting because, so many applicants were so confused about how personal they should be making that section and should they be including new experiences that weren't found on their CV. And it's not necessarily surprising to hear that the most important piece of information was actually that signal and not just the, three sentences that they could add for five different experiences chosen throughout their history. So was that something you then used to select interview candidates?
I would say that the way we tried to use it, and again, every place is probably a little different, is first I went through the people that signaled, giving them sort of a higher chance of getting some of those interview spots, and then went through all the others that hadn't been screened out from various filters that all programs use. So I still looked through, I don't know, 2,500 applicants, of which only maybe 500-600 had signaled of those, give or take. But you had a much higher chance, probably twice the chance of getting an interview here at Jacobi if you had signaled us. You got that first bite at the apple.
Yeah, and that still seems like a lot of signals for one program, especially, it's about 20 to 25% of applicants who applied also signaled your program. I think that shows a very vested interest. And that's something that I think residency programs have a hard time distinguishing nowadays is where is the vested interest in our program and where is us just being another application.